And we are live. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Book Chats and Beyond. And this time we have the first where there are two guests here because you can't have bald without balding. So, we have Mike Mullman and Ro Bushy, both self-published authors who have quite a few books to check out. And I've had the pleasure of being on their channel, Bald and Balding, multiple times. And it is always just the most fun I ever have doing live stuff in general. So figured it makes sense to have you guys here over on my show. But yeah, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves a little bit and we'll get started from there.
Go ahead, Bald.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm so excited. I just shaved like 10 minutes ago for this show because if you are going to be on such a show as Nico's and such a pillar of the community that everyone looks up to and respects, then you got to try to look your best. And there's not a lot for me to work with, so I went with shiny.
I have nothing to top that. But I will say, Nico, I don't know if you were kind of trying to pull from 90s SNL, the book chat thing, because all I could think of was like church chat, with the church lady. So maybe our book, isn't that special?
I feel like I should have just leaned into that because I kept putting off starting this live series because I couldn't think of a name that was worth a dang. I just couldn't think of anything. And finally, I'm just going to call it something dumb and then we'll change it whenever I figure it out. And I kept saying this is the temporary name. And then it just never changed. So that's where we are. So isn't that special?
I'd lean into that. This is a horror book. Could it be Satan, maybe? For all you youngsters out there, go look it up on YouTube.
See, this is going to be such a fun time already. It's like it's always off the rails when I hang out with you guys. So, but I was going to joke, Ro. I think you have more hair than I do, though. So maybe I'm the balding one here.
That's really not saying much. It's if you look here, it's all.
I got mine here, but then also there's not a whole lot up there anymore either. So,
but it's still colored,
There is that. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, I shaved my ear hair, so I know that I have the least hair now of everyone.
Dude, too much information.
It's Mike, ear hair, shaven Mullman over here. It's gonna be just one of those trivia questions, like what author mentioned shaving their ear hair live on the internet? Naturally, there's thousands of people watching right now, I'm sure. So
right. I mean, that's what we have to in our line of work. We have to keep those masses kind of at bay. And I think ear hair is probably a good way to do that. It's keep the show limited to a number that we can deal with. Hey, Saffron.
Appreciating the shininess already. So I don't know if Andrew's still around. I popped this in like 23 minutes before we started, but wanted to make sure that he had his voice heard here with it. But what we didn't, I was gonna say, if you guys want to do like an actual just introduction, just a brief look about you, your books,
Oh,
you're gonna make us promote.
Yeah, we start with the promotion. We throw some in at the end, all throughout. Do the little sandwich here.
Come on,
I can do the Sean Evans, this camera, that camera, the camera in front.
If you insist, Ro. Yeah. I am the author of 7 books. I wrote 4 Pertani books. I'm afraid that I'm going to start being referred to as George R. Martin Light because I published the last one in January of 2024, but I will get back to it. I wrote The Haley Traveler, which is another series because why not have 2 unfinished series? And then last but not least, I started a 3rd series, so Proxima Station, and then the 2nd book is Jungle Planet. They are both out, and I'm writing the 3rd one, and maybe, just maybe, the muses will let me get back to something else after Proxima Station, but no promises.
I do want my return to Pertani, but I've been having fun with the Proxima Station ones too. So that at least works. That's some fun stuff in between.
And I'm Ro, and I have 10 books, including the Magic's Genesis 6-book series about the beginnings of magic in a world, the as yet incomplete Ranger's Deck series, which book 4 coming sometime, and the latest Sigil of Enderun, which is a kind of a standalone one-off, but there will be more in this series at some point after we are done the thing that is absorbing most of our time now, which is the big herding cats project called the Rings of Adventure.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Yeah, we got 34 authors together, indie authors, and just kept calling their home phone number and and their kids and everything until they agreed to do it if we stopped. And
I was outside their windows. Well, the glare, they thought it was moonlight.
That's right. He would put himself just so it put that white space on the TV. So yeah, we're putting together an anthology of stories to run through Kickstarter, and they will be delivered electronically at least one a day through the entire month of December. And then of course there's got to be a printed product with this as well. So we are, working with a Canadian printer to put all the bells and whistles that one would expect on a premium hardcover book. So people can get a chance to do a little smorgasbord taste testing of 34 different authors.
Now I've just gone in and updated the link to the Kickstarter in the chat because I neglected to do that. And I made sure to click the button that says this is not for kids so I don't accidentally disable the chat as I did in the first ever episode of this show, which was really fun. Poor Joanna thought that nobody showed up and wanted to see us talk. We went for like 25 minutes with no comments before I realized I had accidentally disabled the chat.
Nice.
So I made sure not to do this.
Mike, we're going to say that next time nobody's on our show. Nobody's watching our show.
Whoops.
We disabled the chat. I'm sorry. Damn. We had like 75 people watching. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So, and just to follow off of Ro, be almost serious for once. We have some really great authors. We got Joe Byrne. We got Katie Andrews. That's K.E. Andrews and J.C.M. Byrne, if you're not familiar. We got Dave Dobson, who won the Space Bow in year 2, I think. He is doing it. We have Ro Bushy, who is a titan, a literary titan.
For amid the amoeba crowd. Victoria Clapton, who has nearly like 20 books or something, has won a handful of awards as well. It's crazy. We somehow managed, without people actually owing us money, to get a really good group of people together so that everybody in there is kind of looking at everybody else's stuff. And, after a while, the imposter syndrome starts to fade a little bit, but we've managed to bring together a group of people where everybody is now anxious again. And everybody has imposter syndrome again, just like they did with their first book. So we were happy to be able to do that for people.
Yep. And I have to mention
Very
that
nice,
we have
very
some
nice.
authors who are making their debut in our anthology.
Yep.
And one of them is in the chat, Saffron Asteria, and her story is awesome, disturbing, but awesome.
She's also her own artist. We got some of those authors who are also artists, which is really super annoying. For people who can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So yeah, we got some fantastic art from Jesus de Silva and Dmitry
Yahovsky.
Thank you. And Matt Slay, who did our cover art. So there's a couple others as well. So it's not just them.
Yeah. And if you don't know Dmitry, he does all of my Bertani covers, and he also does my Proxima Station covers. Just for you, Ro. I'll show my book again.
That's fine. On somebody else's show, you knock yourself out, man.
Oh my God.
Right.
And Miriam Yvette, too. Thank you, Saffron.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to get everybody because there's just a bunch of folks, but yeah.
So are you guys going to go the like the Sanderson Dragonsteel route of just never meeting a single deadline and constantly delaying, or are you going to, you think, put it out in a reasonable time frame?
No, we are going to be early. I tell you. Because a person who's laying it all out now and doing all the typesetting is going to get it done in no time flat.
You know, it's actually working out really well. Because, first of all, Mike and I kind of started planning this last November.
That's a lie. He said, "Hey, Mike, I'm doing an anthology. I've reached out to 9 authors. Can you reach out to the rest? Let's go." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Like, I talked to him about it the year before, and he wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so he took that as a yes.
If we're going to do it, we need to just do it. And he'll either jump on the train or get run over by it, one of the two. But the nice thing is, because they're all indie authors, right? And it's not an anthology where we just said, hey, we want a story on whatever, send us what you have. We chose the folks we wanted to be in it, right? So we know that they bring a certain kind of quality of work with them, etc. What they also bring with them is the skills, the varied skills, I guess, of an indie author, and the willingness to use that for the betterment of the team, right? So we have Trinity Cunningham and Mike Fadney, and again, there's a bunch of people doing stuff, and I'm not going to get them all, right? But who are like Trinity's working with the printer. She's liaising with the Canadian printer on this for us. And Mike Vadney has done some design work for us. And everybody's just kind of pitching in wherever they have a specific know-how or better than average know-how and helping make this thing come through. So it's been a real kind of, it's taken a lot of the pressure off. And I think it's going to make the product a lot better because
nice.
It's not just one person editing it. Like everybody is kind of jumping in and editing. So people are getting 5, 6, 7 edits on their stories. But we have a couple people who have read everything. So
I feel, yeah, that's got to be helpful, just especially because there are so many different things in indie community where it's people figure out how to do stuff themselves with the different pieces. So kind of getting all of that knowledge together. I bet, makes it a really good experience.
Tobias is in the house. Ooh. So I will tell you, Tobias, he turned in a story, and I absolutely loved it. And then he's like, no, here's a different story. I want the first one I have to develop and make it longer. And I absolutely loved that first story. So out of spite, I have not read a second one because I'm still mad.
I was going to say, I feel like that's got to be the danger, though, of submitting the short story where it's like, okay, but now I want this to be its full thing. So I know, that was Tori Tekken. She had a short in that winter anthology, and then she ended up turning it into a novel. And I imagine that would just happen if you start writing. Just like, oh, turn this into a whole thing. So
we have had at least one story that I've read, and I haven't read them all yet. I will. But at least one that I've read where it ends, stay tuned for more from, this character. So that's happening a little bit here as well, I think. And we have E.L. Montague has written, I don't know, what, 4 or 5, 12 stories for us or something. I don't know if you've read any of E.L.'s work. He's gritty. Let's call it gritty.
Yeah.
Let's go with gritty.
I did one of his, although I did one of his, and then Mike just sent me a bunch of novellas, including the one where he's brutally murdered in.
He doesn't actually say I'm dead.
You're dead.
I mean, the roof is caved in and they're on an asteroid, so that goes to, vacuum, but he did not say I'm dead. And I also take a wallop of radiation, apparently. So I'm lobbying that he brings me back as like a Darth Vader sort of character later, but
that's what I was going to say. I mean, either dead or mutated big time, but I was chuckling at
I could buy mutated.
Tobias in a house. just got corrected. He is in the house, so I still need to read False Idol. I read the first two of his Projectionist. I need to read the last one.
I'm holding out for the audiobook.
And we decided for this that we were kind of going to go with a PG-13. But, you know, Deadpool was PG-13 as well. And
it is fair.
This isn't a happy Christmas kind of story with singing and dancing snowmen and all that kind of stuff. It's got a much higher body count than that. I'm actually going to go through and do a body count of all of the stories. So
mine only has 2.
Just 2. I mean, I have more than 2. But
honestly, that would be a really fun thing to do. Is like either like at the end or at the beginning, just some like random stats, like number of people killed within this tome.
We'll just keep a running tally at the bottom. At the bottom of the story as it ends, you know,
just the counter like going up throughout the whole book.
Oh, that's going to be one of our advertising. We're going to go number of body counts, the leaderboard.
Oh, if we would have done that. Anyway, it's only 5,000 words, so I think you're kind of limited in how many you can do. But
you never know. So.
People are pushing it. So.
I will never not be impressed by people who can just sit down and actually like write all of the books too. And like you guys have a ton of books between you, and you were just saying some of the other authors how many books they have, and I do not have that drive. If I ever write a book, it'll probably take me years, and then nobody would ever read it, most likely.
Well, the first one usually does take a while, right? Because again, you're on that kind of, oh, I can't write a book. Good God, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And then if you actually sit down over the course of 2 or 3 years and write it, once it comes out and you have it in your hands, you're like, oh, I can do this. Well, it's like anything else, right? It's once you do it, it's a little easier. By about book 3, you kind of go, this is work, you know? And then that kind of takes over a little bit. So the first few come out pretty smoothly, and then they kind of slow down again, you know.
Well, that and your hopes are crushed by book 3. That you're not going to be able to quit your job.
No for you.
It's always, I always tell people, I'm like, when I see a new author, or whatever, getting ready to publish their first book, I'm like, at what point do we tell them that writing is the easy part and marketing is what really sucks?
Before you publish your first book, it's like your wedding day, right? Everything's happy and your whole life's ahead of you, and everything's going to be just wonderful, and you're going to live to be 95 years old and totally continent and everything else. And after about that third book comes around and you're realizing the realities of marketing and everything, you've got a couple of kids and they're not doing well in school, and you've lost your job and your mortgage is behind.
I can see it.
Yeah, this is not a Christmas.
My God, chase those dreams.
So it sounds like Tobias is going to write a 700-page book that Mike will never read.
Well, I'll wait for the audiobook.
But he also
That's
said
still a
he
pretty
would write
long
a genius book. So, get on it, man.
I have actually finished ever 2 short stories. One of them could be a book, but probably never will be. But the funniest thing, the most recent thing, I actually wrote something and I really liked it, but I could never publish it under my name because it does not make sense for me to publish it. And like the whole thing, I'm like, why is this even here? I'd have to publish it under a pen name and never tell anyone.
So Nico, are either of your short stories, do they deal with a ring?
No rings. One of them has a sword, but as I say, there are like 3 people, and they're not the same. There's not overlap between the 2 stories. But there's 3 people in the world who've seen any of those things. But
well, this might be good news for you, Nico. Writing a short story is actually, I think, more difficult than writing a book, right? Because you have a very limited amount of space to do all the things you need to do, right? There's not a lot of world building in a short story. There's there's a little bit of character development, right? But you don't have time to like look at the trees and all the other kind of stuff, right?
I like
So
looking
you
at
have to
trees.
get into it and get to the point and have your conflict and resolve it in a very, very short period of time. So if you've already done that, now you can just, take out your adjective dictionary and start expressing yourself.
I was just going to say, or if you hate adjectives, short stories are fairly easy to write.
Yeah, Mike doesn't. Mike's not a big adjective guy. They'll figure it out. I don't want to give my people too much information, like where or when or what.
Yeah, you don't need to know, but
It's a white featureless room, everyone. Everything takes place in a white featureless room.
That's a guy who's never played D&D right there.
I say the room is the insane asylum that Mike is actually in right now while he imagines all of this happening.
That's right.
Just me and my voices there.
He's cackling.
That's a good descriptor right there.
Oh, that's a win. I think we can stop the show now.
That's right. If we can get somebody to cry as well, we're done.
All right, get on it. We need somebody to start crying in the chat. What do we? We'll figure out something. Oh goodness! But it's always yeah. I don't know. It's the writing thing. I feel like I would be the person too who would get like the world builder's disease though, and just never actually finish writing because I just keep thinking about the trees and the way this works.
Oh, that is the best part.
I'm a big world building fan too, and that's where like I feel like I've gotten better because I used to play around with writing stuff, but I was horrible at dialogue. It's like I could write paragraphs describing the setting and like setting it up, and then when you need people to interact, it was so bad. And so that's where I'm just like, what if I just write like a whole thing that's just third person omniscient, nobody ever speaks, it's just very cool.
Nico, have you ever sat there and like just kind of watched something happen and like that little voice inside your head, kind of the imagination of what you would do, right? If you were John Wick or something, how you would just go up and just totally punch someone in the throat.
Maybe not that specifically.
Just use that person's voice, what they would say. Don't worry about what you would say. Think about what they would do.
Always write characters getting ready to punch someone in the throat.
So Nico, when I'm at work and I get an idea, I write it on a piece of paper, and then you end up with this.
I've started keeping a little Word document on my phone because I didn't usually have a pad with me, but I started doing that because like I'll think of something and then it just leaves the brain and never remember it again. So I feel like if I ever write something, and it probably won't happen, it's fun to play around with from time to time with it too. So who knows? But maybe I'll start anonymously sending out if I ever. There you go.
There's an app on your phone that looks like that little cassette there on the top.
Okay.
It's just a voice recorder. You just click that and then click another button and just talk into it and save it for all time. And it's much easier than having dozens of little pieces of paper and trying to write on the phone.
Would probably go back and read it. I'm like, I have no idea what I was talking about at the time.
Whereas if you listen to it, you can kind of hear your voice inflection, and it's useful, especially if you're walking. Always take a walk.
I did that once when I was trying to fall asleep, and I had an idea, and I was like, I better record this because I won't remember. And then the brain just started clicking. I was like, oh, here's an idea, and I record a third one. The next morning, I listened. It was the same idea 3 times.
At least you were making sense. It wasn't just
I was totally expecting the story to end with, and I fell asleep, and it was me snoring for like 3 hours until I woke up.
Get that checked out. So how are you doing your reviews? How many books do you read on like a month?
See, that's what I need my piece of paper for. I do literally, I write things on a little notepad, but usually probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something. This is a readathon month, so we're doing 20, but they're all very short.
Oh my God.
20 books?
Well, they're like mostly like novellas or very short novels.
Dude, they could be comic books.
Well, it has to be. So readathon rules for shout out Battle of the Bands readathon in Jake the Bookish Drummer's Discord. Has to be at least 150 pages, and it can't be like a picture book or a comic or a graphic novel. It has to be like actual books. But some people get it done in like the first like week, or like people who just go. I mean, I have a full-time job and a 2-year-old.
They don't have jobs, obviously.
It takes me longer.
Yeah.
Well, like one person's retired, so they go and do it.
The dream.
So, I'd probably get a lot more reading done at that point. But.
When you're what's your countdown, Mike?
354 days.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting close.
Yep. July 6th, 2027.
So then I'm assuming yours is longer than Ro.
Yeah, much longer.
I didn't have kids, so I can retire.
That's what's annoying, is he's younger than me.
I did not get married and have kids, Ro, so I can retire early.
Getting married and having kids does add a lot of expenses, for sure. So
yeah,
but I always joke, by the time I'm retirement age will probably not exist anymore. So who knows for me, but I got a ways.
Well, retirement age might exist, but Social Security won't.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is very great enjoyment that I get. One of the guys at work that I go to lunch with, he's 25, and I'm like, yeah, you'll probably only have 50 years left before you retire.
Oh man, it's hopefully I work for a retirement company, so I'm very aware of a lot of retirement type stuff, but it's things
you do that for a living?
What I do is actually much more boring than that even sounds on paper, because I'm a product manager. So I work on specific products and prioritizing enhancements and defects and initiatives with it and making sure things move forward. And usually people's eyes start glazing over as I explain that. And
you might want to work on
that'll make somebody cry. So.
Yeah. So Nico, I do have good news for you before I forget.
Oh, yes.
So I'm saying September, so that means October and November in reality. I'm going to come out with the third Proxima book, and I'm going to come out with a Pratani Choose Your Own Adventure book, same time, same day.
Oh, I think you told me a little bit about the Choose Your Own Adventure Pratani, which I am extremely curious about, because I haven't done a Choose Your Own Adventure book in, I couldn't tell you how many years. So you've read my stuff, so you know when the centaurs, the border there, how everyone shoots and kill all the time. That's where the Choose Your Own Adventure takes place, and you are a brand new soldier going out on your first patrol in the forest. So it's not a very happy.
Yep. We have 35 ways to die and one way to make it out.
So I told my brother, I was like, well, there's one happy ending, but you end up finding a trader's cart that's overturned. You take his money box, you figure he's dead, and then you desert. He goes, so you have to desert your military duties, and that's your happy ending? And I'm like, well...
You just gave it away, Mike. Now you have to write another one.
Well, there's other ones that, depending on how you feel, they're happy-ish. I mean, sometimes you live.
Oh, okay.
You might be crippled, but
And good old Timothy Robert, who's friend, author of ours, he is one of the characters is named Robert, and I kill him in all sorts of different horrific ways.
He had it coming, though, to be honest.
And actually, I decided the dedication is going to be to Tim Robert, rest in pieces.
Eloquent.
Oh man,
Yeah,
this
is not
a lot of fun for sure. Oh goodness. Oh yes, definitely read Cold Fire. I really enjoyed that.
Cold Fire. Who's that by?
That's C.S. Friedman. It is.
Okay, I'm going to act like I have time to read these, but yeah.
Look how
Those are
beautiful they
way
are.
too thick for you, Mike.
I mean, they're not
Yeah.
horrible. These have some of my favorite covers. They're super cool.
Are they on audio?
Yes.
Oh, awesome! Woohoo!
And it's R.C. Bray, I think.
Oh wow, I love him. He did The Martian, I guess, and then they didn't like it and they redid it or something. But I liked him originally.
Okay, that's upsetting because I listened to the Will Wheaton Martian and he should never narrate audiobooks. So I'm really sad that I could have had R.C. Bray. He reminds me a little bit of Scott Brick, who does all of Donaldson's stuff, and I really like Scott Brick too. So it was a good time. The books are they're sci fantasy with some horror elements in there too, and very atmospheric writing, and he captures that in the narration very, very well. But it's the base premise is humanity, after searching for a new planet to settle for so long, end up at this planet that's technically suitable, but it has these forces that they end up calling the Fae that kind of run the world and in a more of a magical way that also can manifest things if people believe in them enough or think about them enough. And so they settle there, but then slowly the Fae forces kind of take over from their technology, and then their technology kind of stops working. And so that's where it comes a little bit more fantasy-esque. But then it kicks off when a priest and a vampire have to go off and travel on a quest together. And it's wild, but I don't know. They were so good. I really loved them.
So, Nico, question for you, because we're going to interview you now.
They've taken over.
You were in the Space Bow as a judge one year, right?
I was, but I don't know if you want me to talk about it.
No. Just a specific thing. Was it the second year? What I'm getting to is, did you read Kanai by Dave Dobson? Because it won in its year, and I don't know. I think it was the second year, because the third year it really went off the rails. That's when I was in it.
I think I did not read that one. I can't remember what year it was. I think he at some point offered to send me that book. He sent me some other books. I'm not sure if that was one, but I think that I remember seeing that one.
He also wrote Deros, which made it, I guess, to the semifinals, and Space Bow won, I think.
I can't remember what actually won the year I was a judge, because I kind of just quit toward the end because it was not good. I hope it's gotten better since then, but the year I was involved, it was really bad, and almost all of the books that were in the semifinals were really bad, and I got sick of reading really bad books that were somehow still advancing, and there was some good stuff in there for sure, but it was not the majority by any means. So it was kind of wild.
So
you were just that year, and you advanced to the semifinal. Just ignore everything that you've heard for the last 30 seconds.
Everything I actually read, I reviewed, and there were some not good ones in there for sure. But I did read. Granted, I can't remember if it was an advanced one. I think it might have been, but one of the worst books I think I've ever read. And people told me it wasn't that bad. I disagree. And apparently I felt a little bit bad because it was one of my most negative reviews I've ever done. I tore it apart. And apparently I found out after the fact, it was this guy's dead son started the book, and then he took it and finished it and published it in his son's memory. And I'm like, so I am an asshole. Okay. But it was really bad in my defense.
No, you're not the asshole there. That's, the Mike and I are judges in Ybor right now. And
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's brand new this year.
So, Nico, the naming is not the best. None of these contests have a good name, but it is the
Independent Blog Off Remnants.
Yeah, independent. Yeah.
So people who didn't make it into SPIFBO, this is your second chance opportunity. So one of the books I read in the first round I didn't put through. I put through another one, and somebody said the book you put through actually has a much lower rating than the book you didn't put through. Well, I can't help that all those people were just wrong, because
I was gonna say, yeah, ratings are.
I've really gone out of my way not to say this on any format. Mike knows what I'm going to say. But when you're talking about the act of a mother feeding her child, right? Breastfeeding. The word slurp probably not the word you want to reach for. And certainly not multiple times. Right? I mean, that's not the only problem with it, but it was pretty jarring.
I do not know what I was expecting you to say, but that was not it. Let me tell you.
If I'm thinking slurp, it's like chocolate milk out of a straw, then maybe slurp is okay. Breastfeeding? Not so much. Just me. Some people, I guess, are okay with that. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Oh gosh, I do remember. I don't have any clue what it was called, but there was one that was in my year which did not get advanced through slush, but it started out and this guy was in a classroom setting, like a college classroom setting, and daydreaming and imagining if one of his female classmates had something on the back of her head that he could then do things with, and that I'm just like, no, I'm done with this one. So no, thank you, and put it down right there. And that was not even 10% in. I'm just
like, what was he trying to do?
I don't think I think you can. Let's look at the comments. Robert, good kill for sure. Love a good slurp. I feel like that needs to be screenshotted and shared out of context as much as possible.
I think you are absolutely right.
The word slurp just needs to be big, kind of rounded font with a little bubble around it and everything. It's a very comic-y book word, but anyway.
You gotta go the onomatopoeia with it too. So do the Elimadison.
Hey Nico, I randomly thought of another question for you.
Okay. I think we can't get stranger at this point. So
how close are you to Des Moines?
So I moved away from Des Moines like 3 months ago, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm under 2 hours still.
So if I go to the Des Moines GalaxyCon, will you show up there?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Okay. So
I have to look up when this is, I guess. But
yeah, me too.
All the way to Des Moines?
When I move to Cincinnati after I retire,
okay.
It'll be a much easier drive.
Okay. Right. Yeah, no.
So
if you're in Des Moines,
so we're all getting together at Mike's house in Cincinnati then.
Well, I'm going to be on the good side of the river in Kentucky. If you call me an Ohioan, we will fight.
Oh, Tobias. Yeah, slurp and moist. Absolutely. Yeah. There's got to be one more to just make a trilogy out of it.
Would you? My wife just walked in. Would you ever, when describe? This is a real question for the record. Don't judge us. Do you think it's? I can't even. When describing the act of breastfeeding, do you feel the word slurp is ever appropriate?
Nope.
She just did it and then walked away. She's like, I'm not.
Anyway.
And this is I hope so much that someone just popped in here and just got all of this with no context, because this is the kind of things that I feel like it's always such a chaotic time whenever I've been on your guys' channel in the best way. And I will still never forget the Lesser Dodo creation, which
just at the 39-minute mark is where you want to go to cut this video for your for your TikTok thing.
Lots of it's just
I hate to ask this, but the teaser to this episode said that we have something that we're announcing.
I just thought that. It's like, we should probably get to that.
We're 40 minutes into this. I don't know. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Nico's Book Reviews.
Okay.
So, Mike, you got to do it. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so
I hear, Mike, that you have something that you wanted to announce.
yes, oh no, I'm not coming out. No, never mind. Because I don't know any better, we're looking for somebody to write a foreword for our anthology, and so I just, out of the blue, emailed the highly estimable Janny Wirtz and said, "Hey, you don't know me, but would you like to write a foreword for our anthology?" And she said yes.
Tobias, stop it.
I'm not going to put that one on the screen.
Yeah, put it up. You got to put it up. You got to put
All
it up.
right. You know what?
Technically, he's correct.
I mean, that is correct, though. At least, like, it definitely sounds weird. That is at least correct. So
anyway, Janny Wirtz is writing the foreword for our anthology, and to strike fear. What?
Do you owe her money or something?
Nope, she doesn't know where I live.
How'd you manage that?
Out of the blue, I emailed her and said, "Hey, Janny, you are a pillar of the community."
You've really never met her before or anything? You
never. No.
Called her?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was like, if she says no, then what's, it's kind of like when I wrote my first book, and people are always like, "I'm nervous. What if no one buys it?" Yeah. If no one buys it, then no one knows, and you go on with your life.
Right.
There is nothing to be afraid of. Publish the book, unless it's really, really bad and needs an edit, in which case you definitely want to do that first.
You're telling me then, when I post the things that I've been posting on Instagram, showing the little trading cards of all the authors in this thing, and on Instagram you can invite up to 5 people to help you kind of push. I should put in like Keanu Reeves and Dolly Parton and all those people, and just send it to them and see if one of them says, "Yeah, what the hell? I'll just give it a go." Right.
Absolutely.
We'll give it a shot with the next one then. See what happens.
I was thinking Stephen King and George R. Martin, but he would never finish the tweet to send it out again.
It's true.
It's
true.
So Janny Wirtz, and she's going to. Is she like reading all of these things first, or is she going to like read a couple of them, or she just trying to make it so you never call her again?
So this will probably strike fear in the hearts of our authors, but she did ask you, so do I need to read all the short stories first? No. And I was like, I will send them to you as we get them. So I sent her the first dozen. And I have to apologize to Mike Cahoon because I thought his story was finished, so I sent it to Janny Wirtz, and then the next day he's like, "Hey, here's the updated story." And I'm like, well, yeah, oops.
Now, has she sent any of them back, or any indication that
she has not sent them back yet.
And she hasn't changed her email address, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it bounced back to me, so yeah.
All right.
I mean, I might be going in the spam filter for all, the spam folder for all I know, but.
Well, that's awesome. See if we can get her on the show, Mike.
Hey, it's worth an ask. So,
yeah.
I'm planning to have her back on. I haven't had her on this show technically, so I'm planning to have her on at some point on this show. But Janny is amazing. I've had the pleasure of interacting with her a bunch of times on lives and everything, and yeah, she is fantastic. So that's really cool. And she's really dove in, I know, just into like the BookTube community and everything. And I know she's interacting with a lot of indie authors and everything too, and is just a big supporter of books and in general. And so that is really, really cool. And I just love that you approach it like, hey, you don't know me, but it's because that is the greatest approach.
$10 is $10, eh?
Yeah,
So, and I did tell her in the email, I was like, I know I'm sure she's not going to believe me, but I reread the Empire trilogy that she and Raymond E. Feist wrote, and I will stand by it. It is my absolute favorite fantasy trilogy all time. It beats Tolkien. And I just reread it last year and into this year, and absolutely it stands up. I read it in the 80s, so it's been like 40 years. I reread it, and I'm like, yep, absolutely my favorite trilogy. So
That's the only one I haven't read. I've read every other single thing she's published, except for I haven't finished that yet. I did the first book, and I did quite enjoy it.
no, I only read those 3. So
most of her books are quite long for you, to be fair, but audio is coming.
Yep.
So there's the first 3 books now have audio from Colin Mace, who does a really fantastic job, and the first 3 and the last one do. So it'll hopefully continue to come. Which that's where too. Those came out, and I always try and yell about that because they are very long books, and I totally get the people who struggle to kind of get through in it. But it's they're ended up. That's my favorite series is Wars of Light and Shadow. It finally unseated Wheel of Time for me. Did the unthinkable.
Yay. So I actually won Hell's Chasm or whatever from you, Nico. So I have that book that I won from one of your giveaways, and I've not read it. So if you're telling me it's going to come on audiobook,
I don't think that one's likely to. So
is that what you do with all your books, Nico? Is you just like get to a certain density back there behind you and then start giving them away?
So that one I got a couple because the one I have back here is signed. I say I bought a signed hardcover from her because occasionally you can find stolen copies of this online, which there's a full story to that too. But so I have a signed version. So this is from the defunct publisher Misha Merlin, who went under and screwed a bunch of authors out of money and then just left their warehouse open with all of these books, many of them which were stolen, unless authors could come and try to recover some of them themselves, basically. So it was a whole thing. So yeah, if you see copies, that's probably where they originated. But she had some boxes, so I bought a couple of copies direct from her and then just did a giveaway with one of the other ones.
Nice.
So, I live for the day when someone wants to steal my books. That is when I know I will have made it.
Right.
Ro and I always joke at Comic-Cons. It's like, no, don't put a cover over your table. It's like, what if somebody steals 5 of my books? Well, then they have to find at least 4 other people who want to read it, so they're doing your marketing for you.
Maybe
I mean, I wish. Yeah, give me a review. We're even.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. We do have somebody correcting you, Mike. You said the thing. You said Lord of the Rings is a trilogy. There's always someone in there. But. Yeah, I was gonna say I legitimately do have. Granted, I've gotten better, believe it or not, but I have enough books to be considered a library, I believe. Because the benchmark is only like 600. It's pretty low, actually.
I thought it was 1,000, but either way, I think
it depends where you are, right? There's some states where it's like 32.
Yeah, and if you're in Louisiana, it's 4.
Exactly.
In Alabama, they'll be like, "What's a library?" But
that's just kindling.
I should say I live in a really small town now, but their library is decent for how small of a town it is. But as I say, if I ever pass on my book collection or something, I'll probably I would. They'd need a whole wing in a library for me. But
your kids go in that room. It's like, oh great, everybody else is getting like houses and and I'm getting a bunch of books. Yay.
I was gonna say, hopefully my daughter will end up liking some of my books one day. I don't know, but she I used to read my books to her when she was a baby, and then she got older, and now she only wants her own books read. But we're slowly, hopefully, getting there as she gets older. and will tolerate me reading like other stuff. But that's where I've been practicing since she was born, reading and doing fun voices and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I read her the entirety of what's the now I can't think of what the book is called. It's Hope Mearley's Lead in the Mist. Lead in the Mist. I don't know if you guys have read. It's a really old fantasy book, and it's considered a classic. And I didn't like it that much, but it was very entertaining to read out loud. And it's one of those things. I read it to my like baby daughter over several weeks, and so it was fun. But the characters yell out the most ridiculous like exclamations, like "suffering cats" or "busty Bridget" and like things like that. And those are the exclamations. It's seriously like it's like that. There's so many just ridiculous things that they yell out throughout. I don't know if they're
Slurping babies.
Yeah, slurping babies probably. But it's like I don't know. It was a really interesting book to experience for sure. But
So when your daughter gets to be like 5 or so, you should totally read Death Sketch by Tobias Youngblood to her.
I have a feeling I shouldn't do that. But
And what's a good age she can be before you can read EL stuff to her?
32. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Oh, my God, Mike and I are an old married couple. We're finishing each other's sentences now. It's pretty sad. That was not planned.
You had such higher hopes when you were young, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. But I can't add anything into your chat, but I will tell folks that if you haven't and you're interested in following along with the Rings of Adventure Kickstarter, you can find me on X at Robushy, R-O Bushy, B-U-S-H-E-Y. And I have it pinned to the top. There's a link to the Kickstarter. I know we got a couple of authors from the Kickstarter here in the chat. If one of them could drop that in the chat, that link, that would be great. We're up over 100 now, which is really exciting. We hope to have a couple of hundred by the time we kick this thing off September 1st.
Nico is a gentleman and a scholar.
Thanks, Nico.
I was gonna say, I think if somebody else puts a link in, it'll probably get scrubbed because YouTube will think it's spam. So
right.
I tried putting it in.
Okay.
It is in the video description too, as well. So
cool.
Worst case, you can find it there. I need to actually officially follow this myself, though.
Woohoo.
So let me log in here. I'm really bad about remembering when Kickstarters actually happen. Oh, now it's going to make me verify my email. Come on.
So, Nico, since we have you on live YouTube,
Gosh.
Are you going to commit to doing a tier ranking of the short stories like Andrew?
I certainly can. Andrew's sometimes nicer than I am, despite the DNFs.
I don't know. After that whole review thing that he went through earlier, Michael. We'll send him your story, not mine.
Yeah. So
I didn't do a tier list, but the other one I did. I did a video for a while just talking about as I read through them. But I'm always kind of mixed with short stories because I feel like it is kind of just hard to write like a really good short story. And then it's one of those things that it's short, but it's also really specific. And sometimes if it doesn't jive with you, you don't have long enough to like have it jive with you. So can be one of those things. So I'm always a little bit hit or miss, but I'll definitely be reading it for sure.
So, Nico, I have to tell you my absolute favorite story that I've read. I've not read everyone's stories yet, but J.A. Bryden, he's like, I'm going to write an unapologetically Australian short story. And I'm like, Jay, what does this word mean? The story is Ring Around the Billabong. I'm like, first question, what's a billabong? But it's absolutely my favorite. And I keep telling him, I don't know what some of these things are, but you know what? I don't need to know for the story. I just know they walk past a thing. But absolutely, that is my absolute favorite so far of the ones that I've read.
As to say, I mean, honestly, if you just use enough Australianisms, it just sounds like you're making up fantasy words. So it's probably fine.
A dingo's got my baby.
Well, to tell you, it's about basically a guy who hunts Australian cryptids because cryptids aren't weird enough. Let's do it in Australia.
I was gonna say that sounds like that could be nonfiction. Honestly, there's probably some cryptids. I mean,
Are the cryptids in Australia like poisonous and
Well, of course.
several other
No.
ways of deathly to you?
weirdly enough, they're harmless. They're the only things there that are. It's kind of it's bad.
Scratching behind the ears and they purr.
See, now I want to write a story about a vampiric koala bear.
Koala bears
if
are
we-
like
If we can
stoned
have
all the time.
the Vampire Bunny series, you can do Vampire Koala.
And then I can do a sequel where it's a vampire sloth.
You're pretty safe.
Slaughterhouse. Have you a big movie guy, Nico?
Depends how old the movie is, because
This
I don't
isn't
watch a lot of
very
movies
old, but it's called Slaughterhouse.
Slaughter.
Yes, and it's exactly what you think it is.
Okay. Well, you immediately
It is
piqued my
a
interest.
slasher movie, but it's a sloth. and-
Oh man,
It's so bad, it's fantastic.
I am a big fan of the so bad it's good style of movies. So I did
Put
find
that right
this
at the top of
in-
the list.
I was gonna say my wife is gonna be very upset at this recommendation because she hates those kinds of movies. But
No, it's funny. It's yeah.
there's one of the most ridiculous ones that's not that old. There's something called Velocipaster. Is a real thing. Yes. And let me see if I can pull it up to just read you the description. But I used to have a friend that we'd watch a lot of these. So the Velocipaster, which is from 2017, the tagline is, yes, it's a real movie, and yes, it's about a dinosaur priest. But we have, so here we go. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. Although he is horrified by the new power, a sex worker convinces him to use it to fight crime.
Did E.L. write that?
Oh, that's too good.
Oh,
Oh, wait, Lamageddon is another recommendation.
Oh, Llamageddon. I don't know if I've even heard of that one. So
Lamageddon. Yeah, we're
I
gonna
love
check
that not
out.
only there's no questioning of Velocipaster. It's like, no, that's pretty good, but this is even better. That's how you know we have the right crowd here, honestly. It's oh gosh.
Just such a great name, Velocipaster. I mean, it really tells you everything you need to know.
Right? Oh gosh. Yeah, I just looked up Llamageddon. This looks delightfully terrible. It's a killer llama from outer space. A vengeful llama from outer space lands on Earth and brings death and destruction to everyone in its path. It's only an hour and 9 minutes, too, apparently. So,
Ooh.
Slaughterhouse is from 2023.
So,
so
Ro,
that one's pretty.
What's that?
Ro, when we do our New Year's show, we can invite Nico.
We can?
No, we cannot, because he's going to recommend one of these movies for me.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
So,
I mean, the original, the one that started it all. I don't know if you guys have seen Troll 2.
Oh, the troll
like-
movie.
I see you've probably at least heard of it, but it's looked at as one of the worst, like worst movies of all time. It is awful, and I used to delight in forcing people to watch it. As actually the first time I hung out with my now wife, somehow I forced her to watch that movie, and she's never let me live it down. But it all worked out in the end. But it is
Very genuine.
terrible in every way, but in the best possible way.
Well,
It's
to go way back in time, to the 80s, have you ever seen the original Toxic Avenger?
I think at some point, but it's been so long. I'm pretty sure I at some point watched it when I used to watch a bunch of the terrible movies.
Yeah.
So Nico, question for you. Is your wife more upset about having to watch that movie, or when you had to do the book title pickup lines?
Oh gosh. I would say, to be fair, she did hate every minute of that, but then she willingly agreed to do a part 2,
Oh yeah,
which was even worse. So like it
that
couldn't have
is
been
that
that
is
bad.
much watch YouTube.
I was just say, oh gosh, this is going to be every time that gets brought up, there's somebody in the chat who's never seen it, and then they go and are just horrified by the whole thing.
What
It
is this?
was so I did a joke. There's two of them. It's a joke video where I took book titles and I made really horrible pickup lines out of them, and recorded them. Recorded my wife next to me and me reading the horrible pickup lines. And in part 2, she did some terrible ones too. But they're all very bad and very cringy. But it was fun. There's some of my my most infamous videos, but every now and then they get brought back up.
The gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Ziblin says there's a movie called Rubber by Quentin Dupieux.
Yes, with the tire. You do get the POV of the tire often as well, like where the camera follows it. It
Yeah.
is that one is so bad that people have argued that it's actually genius. So that's a fun one too. But I
That's
think
a movie budget that's measured in cases of beer.
I think the absolute worst one, which is like it's not even so bad that it's good, it's just so unbelievably bad, is called Deathbed: The Bed That Eats. And it is literally, there's this bed that's in this like random like castle-y dungeon type of room in the middle of a forest for no reason. And people just keep coming around it and then being like, yeah, let's get in this bed. And then it literally eats them. And if it's not bad enough, there is a scene in the movie where these people who are like, I guess they were going to have a picnic, they get on the bed with like a bucket of chicken and it slowly eats the chicken first before it starts eating the people. And it is horrendous.
The people don't notice this?
They don't notice the chicken until like the guy gets eaten. And then, and I wish I was kidding. The girl is trying to escape up the stairs. Cause again, this is like a weird like dungeon in the middle of the forest. And for literally, and I mean literally at least 5 minutes of runtime, she's just going like, ah, and like trying to run away and get away. And then she gets to the door and then it like flings a sheet at her and pulls her back in and then eats her. And I don't think you appreciate yet how bad, because it's not like it has teeth or anything. It just like sucks them in and has like stomach acid inside of the bed. Ultimately, that dissolves them, and so it's like
it's a water bed.
It's, I mean, basically, it's like it's not even like gory or anything. It's just like it was.
They didn't have the budget for that, for fake blood.
Let's go back 40 minutes in time, Nico. You can write a book.
Yeah.
If
Honestly,
all of these things have gotten made and people have actually put them on film and gotten other people to act in them and show their face, you can write a book.
So that's the best part about Troll 2, though. Most of the people in it aren't actors. They're the people who actually just lived in the small town it was filmed in, including the lead, who was just a dentist who had never acted before ever in his life and never acted again afterwards either, I'll note. But then like most of the people, not even just extras, like people who have speaking parts, are just random people who lived in this town that was filmed. It is the most quotable movie I've ever seen in my entire life too. Like I cannot stress enough how you should go watch Troll 2 and your life will be changed forever. Probably for the worse, but it's worth it. Oh, apparently there's a killer sofa one too. So
this, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because I'm assuming this person is actually in Alaska. And
Zach, yeah, he's from Alaska.
Yeah, so they're limited on what they can do. They probably have to watch a lot of this kind of stuff. Having lived in Fairbanks for a few years,
you just take what you can.
Sorry, Zach.
Oh my gosh. I do. Alaska is like #1 state I would like to visit at some point.
Visit. There's the operative word. Visit.
in June.
And if
Or
you're down in
July.
the banana belt, down around Anchorage, it's in Fairbanks. What they used to say was people in Anchorage were lucky because they live so close to Alaska, right? There's that kind of thing. But yeah, that's 62 below is no.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too fun. But
It's
yeah, I would
not.
like to visit. But
Visiting is
I
fun.
know a decent amount of people because there's two different booktubers I know that are from Alaska too. So they're out there.
Yes, they are out there.
They're probably cold, but
No, I mean if it's one of those places that if you like to hunt and fish and go do outdoorsy things all the time, you can't ask for a better place to be.
That's fair.
But
That's not really me though, but which is why I visit.
It is also fun when you send books and you have to send it to North Pole, Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that was the base I was stationed at. North Pole was like 5 miles up the road from it. So it looks a lot better online than it looks in person. Because obviously it's not very big.
I shipped a book. It was like something somebody bought from me on Pango one time, and it turns out they had an incomplete address, and that was part of the problem. But it literally it like got stuck on a ship from Seattle for like a month, and then it routed. It went up to Alaska, then it went through Canada, and then eventually it made its way back and got returned for insufficient address after like 3 months, and it was just like the craziest thing.
Nice.
But, Zach has met that two Alaskan booktubers. So fair enough. Oh man. Oh my gosh. I didn't think we'd spend so much time talking about bad movies, but you never know what you're going to get with Mike and Roe. That's for sure.
Yeah, not book topics. We know that.
Yeah, we talk about books all the time. Yeah.
I just realized from saying it out loud that the two of you together are Mike Rowe. So having a YouTube show, it's a dirty job.
We're very small.
What are you trying to say, man?
Micro?
What's your point?
Did you not get the dirty jobs guy, Micro? Come on.
Oh, I just went to like the microscope, micro, very small.
No, oh, not Micro, like Mike Rowe, the name. He's a guy. He had that show, Dirty Jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, guys.
So you're talking about somebody who's famous and, trying to link us to him. I like that.
See, yeah, there you go.
I think fame in the case of that guy is probably more, that's like
everything's
kind of level.
Everything's relative, Ro. He's famous. Look who we're compared to.
I would have never wanted to do that show, that's for sure. But it was a popular show for. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but that was on for a long time.
He's the hit of the old folks home. I used to be on TV.
Oh gosh, The Refrigerator by Nicholas Jacob. I've never heard of this, but I feel a morbid curiosity to look this one up now.
We're hoping it stars Refrigerator Perry.
I think you probably lost a lot of people there, Mike.
Yeah, well, I'm old.
Oh gosh. Oh, so this is a movie about a refrigerator that eats people.
Nice.
Okay, so the description of this movie is, I think, partially unintentionally funny, but it says a young white couple rents a cheap apartment in a New York barrio that comes with a killer fridge. Real important call out there.
I think that's probably important because I think we know that the African American community would just get the hell out of that house, right?
That's probably true, though.
We're out.
No. Oh, apparently he narrates Deathliest Cat. I had no idea. I've never actually seen that show. So, but there you go. He's still famous. So, there. You're missing a couple of letters to be in your week.
Maybe next anthology we'll have him write the forward. I'll send him an email.
Nice.
Yeah. You never know.
What do you mean next anthology? We're going to do another one next year?
No.
Oh, there you go.
I don't hate on Alaska. I just hate that I was there. I have a cousin who lives in Anchorage, and he absolutely adores it. But we lived up towards Fairbanks, and I just wasn't a fan. But I mean, going whitewater rafting in Denali was cool, and seeing moose and bald eagle and all that kind of stuff on base is very cool. But changing a tire in 40 below, not so much.
I'm guessing they don't have AAA there.
Dude, they don't.
Or is it
The AAA is like, yeah, we'll be there in like 3 days. So, yeah.
We'll be there in March.
Exactly.
When the roads thaw,
Yeah. You do get a good respect for moose, though.
I could see it. Do you know that the only predator for moose are sharks?
What?
That is a true fact. This came up somewhere, but apparently in Canada, there's a stretch of water that moose will travel through, and they can apparently also dive like 40 feet deep too, somehow. But they will actually go through water, and so the only natural predator is sharks. If they're,
I think wolves take down moose.
Granted, I didn't do a lot of research on this, but it's a thing I found on Google at some point. It seems to be at least partially true. So
yeah. Just because people need to know this, moose are the only member of the deer family who do not have reflective eyes, which makes them all the more dangerous on the roads, because when you hit a moose with your car, you're taking them out at the knees, which means that 1,800 pounds of body is coming through your windshield. Which is why most people who hit moose don't make it.
Don't live to tell the tale.
They do not.
They don't hit moose ever again.
Exactly. Yep.
So our next anthology is going to revolve around meese.
Moose. The killer moose.
30 Tales of Moose Horror.
Yeah, when we first got there, they gave us a safety briefing on moose, actually, and they had some video from University of Alaska Fairbanks. And there was a moose up on the steps of this building, and these kids were just being stupid and pelting it with snowballs, and the moose was getting really, really angry, and they're very short-sighted anyway. This guy decided he needed to get out of this building and get to his car. He did not make it to his car. The moose just stomped on him. And so
is Bullwinkle still under trademark? Or can we do, our moose anthology, just have Bullwinkle as everyone's character?
Hey, Wookie!
So you got to have the Wally World moose, whose name
Sorry,
I'm blanking on his name.
I should have told you. We're closed. Oh, John Candy. He's a Canadian national treasure.
For sure.
There's Canadian Bacon is one of the dumbest, funniest movies ever.
I don't know that I've seen that one, but you had me.
Canadian Bacon? Oh, John Candy, Alan Alda. I think Rip Torn is in it. You've got to watch Canadian Bacon. The Carla from Cheers, she's in it. It's
Rhea
Stephen
Perlman,
Wright,
yeah.
the comedian.
Okay, I'm adding this to the list here.
That's how you make your wife happy with you, Nico. You watch that one after you watch Lamageddon.
I just see any of the others we mentioned. Well, you did mention Rip Torn, who is in one of the most infamous bad movies of all time.
Which is? He's in a lot of bad movies, to be fair.
Yeah.
More than Bruce Campbell?
No. Oh, no. I say he was the dad in Tom Green's movie, Freddy Got Fingered, which is a terrible movie. It's like, it kind of became like a cult classic movie, but it has some of just the most off the wall scenes in it that stand out, but it's a very strange movie, and it's not about what it sounds like. It's Tom Green is a failed animator, and he works at a cheese sandwich factory too, is where he works. But he's a failed animator, and he wants to go out and make it, and his dad is Rip Torn, is super like angry at him, and so to get back at his dad, he says that he did that to his adult younger brother, basically. And it's not true, but they it's a whole thing, and that kicks off, and it has very little to actually do with the movie, but it includes such scenes as him playing a keyboard with strings over pulleys attached to sausages and playing the keyboard and singing, "Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?" And that's one of the most well-known scenes from that movie. All real, again, I'm telling you. Rose, like, I need something stronger.
Yeah, right. I need some whiskey.
Oh,
it wasn't
man.
so late.
It is. It's a trip for sure. It was a horrendous movie, but it's one of those ones you got to experience at least once, I feel like, if you like bad movies. All right, Mike, what's our next topic?
Let me think for a while. While I'm thinking, I'll just put something up to entertain people.
It's a real head scratcher. It's just, what are we gonna?
Oh, you got the collector's edition, the first edition that has the cover that doesn't promise silly sci-fi on it. And I got lots of 1 and 2 star reviews, so I changed the cover.
You still getting 1 and 2 star reviews?
I am not.
Okay, good.
But
Probably
actually, I'm
not.
not getting many reviews anymore, so
I mean, it's definitely something that if you don't know what you're getting into, I could see somebody having a bad time. But also, if you know what you're getting into, it's so much fun. It is ridiculous, but it's also, that's the point.
Self-aware ridiculousness is okay if it's self-aware.
For sure.
My daughter and I watch really bad Christmas movies on Tubi because they're all the same, right? But we came across one, and they dropped an F-bomb and a C-bomb within like the first 30 minutes, and we're like, "Oh, this is different," And it was a very self-aware, bad, Hallmark style Christmas movie, and it was just gold. I don't remember the name of it. Hopefully, I'll find it again one day, and I'll tattoo it on my arm so I never forget. But it was fantastic.
Until you said Hallmark, I was thinking Santa's Sleigh, the SLAY, which stars Bill Goldberg as Santa. And the plot of that one is Santa's actually a demon, but he made a deal with an angel that he would be good for 100 years, and the 100 years just ended.
Ah, nice.
They end up, somebody else has to have a contest and beat him, which they end up, I'm pretty sure it ends up being like curling. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that movie in probably 20 years, but every time I think about it, I just remember how ridiculous it was. It is another terrible but fun movie for sure.
That sounds like a good one to queue up for Christmas time. We can watch Harry Potter or Santa's Sleigh.
I mean, I'd take Santa's Sleigh any day.
You're giving Tobias ideas for his next story.
Oh man, I am kind of like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to read like a bad movie version of a book, because I feel like it can be really hard to do that sometimes without having visual media. And so I haven't read a lot of like that kind of book that have worked. Maybe weirdly, one of the exceptions being Steven Erickson's Willful Child, which is on audio and is some of the craziest audio I've heard. It's I can't remember the guy's name, but he apparently does like completely normal, regular narration for most people. But for that series, he goes really over the top, and it's like a Star Trek parody, and then it ends up doing a bunch of other parody stuff. It's absolutely not what you would expect from Erickson, but it is really funny, actually.
Yeah, that would be difficult to pull off in the written word.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I ended up doing largely audio just because the audio was so good and it kind of made it fun. But and even then, like I definitely liked it, but it's a trilogy. And like by the time I had the trilogy, I'm like, I'm a little bit over it, but there was just some very memorable moments in there for sure. Curling fans.
Can't go
the
wrong
only
with
sport
curling.
where you get better when you have alcohol.
Oh, darts.
at that point, maybe you just won't realize if you're doing badly. So
Yeah, I mean,
darts. You have to beer as a counterweight to, really kind of.
this is true. This is true. Oh goodness, it has been an hour 20 that we've been going in this.
And people are still here.
No, yeah, I
feel like the guy at the end of Ferris Bueller. It's like, what? You're still here? Go home. Go home.
It sometimes amazes me, but it's always funny too. Sometimes I'll have like the live show and like we're getting to like the last 10 minutes and then all of a sudden the viewers spike and I'm like, you guys are a little late, but you can watch the replay. But actually we've had some spikes, ups and downs, but there's been like a baseline here.
wow.
This is definitely like going to be one.
Yeah.
People jumping in randomly are going to have a lot of out of context stuff with no explanation.
Go back to the 39-minute mark.
I don't recommend that, but
yeah.
Can I add to the out of context?
Let's do it.
This past weekend, Rose heard this already. I was at a Comic-Con with James Maxey, and he turned to me and he goes, "Mike, that's a very impressive sausage that you have."
There are some stories that don't need to be retold, really.
No. I was going to say no, it's 10 out of 10 storytelling, but
No.
Oh, goodness.
But we were in New Orleans, so I got some beads.
Did you get them or did you earn them?
I'll just let your imagination run wild with that.
No. That's not happening. What happens at Comic-Con stays at Comic-Con.
There it is.
So, Nico, you sure you're going to come to the Des Moines GalaxyCon?
Oh man, I knew Des Moines did a con, and I always debated on going, but like I'd never knew anyone there or like had anyone to go with, so I've never actually been to one. And living in Iowa, there are very few options for cons, so I haven't been to another one anyway. So I mean, quite legitimately, I'd love to. I was going to try.
Go to Comic-Cons with you?
I mean, she probably would if I asked her to, but I don't think she would have any interest in going to one. Probably.
Does she like Funko Pops?
No.
Okay, then yeah.
Honestly, I don't get Funko Pops.
Neither do I.
I don't think I ever will. Like people like them, that's totally fine. I don't have a problem with them. I just don't get it.
Is she willing to pay $175 for a lightsaber?
Probably not either.
Okay, yeah.
You see people lining up like 2 or 3 of those damn things. It's like, really? You just spent like $6 on lightsabers? Dude.
I don't think I can do that either.
So I had a guy, I still kind of feel bad about this as much as I feel bad about anything. But he came to my table and he's like, "Yeah, I really want your book, Becoming a Druid." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Well, I don't have any money, so I'm going to have to do a micro loan from Klarna for the $16 to buy your book, and I just have to pay $4.50 for 4 months in a row, and then it's paid for." And I'm like, "You're taking out a loan to buy my book." I'm like, "Come on here." Financial discipline.
I mean,
and I thought about it, I was like,
flattering.
I mean, I wanted to be like, first I was like, I should just give it to him. And I'm like, no, I paid for this table. I'm not giving it to him. And I was like, maybe I should talk him out of it. I was like, no, I paid for this table. I'm not going to do that. So I sold him the book. I still feel a little bad.
Can I interest you in a self-help book on finances as well?
This one's free. You're going to need it. Yeah.
But he told me he bought 2 lightsabers, and then he's out of money. So that's why I had put my book on Klarna. So I was like,
I remember seeing when that first came out, there was a meme of somebody who did 4 payments for their Costco hot dog. And I'm just like, that's just peak people being people right there. I finally get off this bad boy.
I did see where Domino's was doing that. You could get a loan to get a pizza from Domino's. And I'm like, okay, but after you make your first payment, why do you pay any more? What are they going to do? We want it back?
Like Columbia House, right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Columbia House, Nico? Or are you too young for that?
I'm old on the inside, but yeah, I am familiar with Columbia House.
Or
I've joked for
BMG was
many
the other one.
years. I've joked for many years that I'm like at a minimum 57 years old on the inside, just waiting to catch up, and it's probably gone up. But a fun anecdote on that is I used to years ago. I trained people as a job at the same company I work for now, but I used to train people, and a lot of the people that I trained were in a different location, so they hadn't met me in person. But based on all of my references, there was one person in the group who, and at the time I was in my early 20s, and there was one person in the group who was in her mid 40s. She assumed I was her age because she was the only one who got any of my references. And so then she met me and found out that I was in my early 20s. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I just figured you were my age. I'm like, hey, thanks for actually understanding my references.
Now, just to go back a couple of seconds, you said you feel like you're 57 or something.
At a minimum.
Yeah. Is that number because that's like a really old age?
No, I don't think that's particularly old. That's why I always say at a minimum. But like I feel like I've been at that baseline
Good
since I was
answer.
a teenager. So
I'm
Just wait.
really glad you said that, having just turned 58. But whatever.
hey, I mean, you're younger than many people, and you're younger than my mom, and I wouldn't call her old ever. So
Well, immature maybe is I think the
Younger
word
than a
you're
lot of
looking
people, though a lot of those people are dead.
for. I'm younger than my parents, fortunately. So.
this is true. It usually works that way. Not always, but usually, yeah.
Columbia House tapes. No, Tobias, you did it wrong. You get the LP from Columbia House. You then record it onto a cassette tape and then send the records back saying you didn't like them.
See, my LP collection is also behind me under the books. For the
What do you got? Anything good?
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff.
My son is actually getting ready to start a YouTube channel. So what he did is he got some people and he got 365 albums, right? He just had people like tell him albums that he needed to listen to. And he likes hip hop and EDM. So
What is
people gave him
EDM?
all of electronic dance music.
Oh,
And so people
sorry,
gave him this huge wide swath of music, and he's listening to an album a day. And he's going to put out a YouTube channel where he kind of goes through the albums and rates them one a day. And he's done like 40 of them. And I'm very happy to see he's only got like a couple of the 35 or 40 that he's done so far. Only a few of them are like 9 or better out of 10. And I'm very happy that one of them was one that I told him to listen to. So
Very nice. Well, if you want to feel younger, I have a collection of Frankie Valli records.
that's way old, dude. That's like, dude.
Yeah, my mom used to listen to that.
Yeah, exactly.
I took my wife's grandmother to see Frankie Valli live in Des Moines, and my wife and I were by far the youngest people who were present, by like far. And funnily enough, my wife's grandmother was one of the younger people present relatively as well. But yeah, there is that. But I'm still working on it. I do have like some new music metal that you guys wouldn't know. But here's Simon and Garfunkel. It was a classic.
Yeah. Bridge over
Lorna
Troubled
Shore.
Water.
This is Roe. That's on your list, I'm sure.
What is it?
Lorna Shore.
Not my list.
Look up To the Hellfire after this.
Yeah, I have a very narrow window of music.
I don't have all of them yet, but I'm working on collecting all of Billy Joel. I have a good chunk. Billy Joel is one of my favorites.
As he should be.
I did, for some reason, on two booktubers, we did a ranking Billy Joel albums live stream, which actually ended up being funnily popular. But a lot of people showed up really confused. What was happening?
Bro, tag
all
Billy
writing.
Joel
It's all
on our
writing.
anthology.
How about that one?
Transformer soundtrack.
Yeah.
That movie, that original Transformers movie, the cartoon, was actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Because like when they were in the shuttle or whatever, after the Decepticons just got the crap beat out of them, and one of them was kind of injured or whatever, and who's the ultimate bad guy?
Megatron.
Thank you. He just kicked a dude out into space. He's just
It's
like, hey,
true.
okay, out you go. It's like, that's gold.
But well, yeah, and then Starscream takes over. But I still love that movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. So that's not like an original. They re-released it for an anniversary. But
Yeah, you gotta watch Heavy Metal.
Bunch of Foreigner. I've seen Heavy Metal.
No,
Oh, Heavy Metal, fantastic.
Do you have Journey and Def Leppard?
I don't, because I haven't come across. Not because I wouldn't, but I do like both. I got Billy Idol.
Oh, okay.
David Bowie. Boston's
good.
Got to have some Genesis.
Yep.
Boston's the first concert I ever saw live.
Really?
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Now here's a fun quiz. Guess what year this came out?
Who is it?
You're not going to know them, but Beast in Black.
That's the name of the group?
Yeah.
Oof.
And based on the cover, just your best guess.
78.
82.
2023.
Wow.
It is the most 80s thing you'll ever hear in your entire life, though. They're more 80s than anybody in the 80s.
Awesome.
I'm going to need to listen to that now.
Yeah.
I'll send you some tracks. It's really good. I do love their stuff. And they just keep doubling down on like just the 80. They're a metal band, but they've gotten kind of like the 80s electronic pop elements more and more as they've gone on too. So they're a lot of fun. But they're I've never read it or watched it and don't plan to. But they're a lot of their stuff is heavily based on Berserk, the manga / anime. Which there's a lot of bands that have taken inspiration from that too. So that's a thing.
So Usman Zanor, he told me after he read Becoming a Druid, he's like, I really understand my heavy metal bands better now because a lot of it is Celtic inspired, and after reading your book, I get more of the references. And I'm like, I'm glad that I could help you enjoy heavy metal more. Could you please put that in a review?
That's fantastic, honestly.
I'm going to break serious protocol here, and I'm going to have to go.
No, that's okay. Hey, we are at the 90-minute mark, which is usually about where we go. You made me get out my record collection. That slowed me down.
Sorry.
But no, that's okay. I love too that the viewers actually went up, but not a single comment once we started talking about records. Everyone's just like, nah.
We'll do it again. We'll do a whole thing on music. That'd be good.
Hey, yeah, sure. Well, that's why this is a fun show because it's
the
just
writing lyrics. It's all writing. It's all
whatever.
good.
Yeah.
I have Sonata Arctica. I don't know Sonata Nocturna though. Very different band, but I'll have to look that up. But anyway, yeah, no, that's totally fine, Ro. And I know you got like backlight and we're driving today too, and we've kind of hit, so we can absolutely wrap up here. But this has been a lot of fun as always. Always just a chaotic time in the best way with you two. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you check out their channel, Bald and Balding. I have both that and the Kickstarter for Rings of Adventure, the coming soon anthology series that features over 30 short stories from all kinds of indie authors in fantasy, science fiction, romance, and horror. And has a really cool some art already on display on the page. So definitely check it out. Check out Mike's books and Ro's books. I need to check out Ro's books too because I have not read any of your books yet. I need
you and so many people.
I'm not alone, at least. Yeah. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming by, and I'll see you on the next episode.
See you. Thanks, Nico.